Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, Ron's Keto Cafe. Today we're making a low-carb chili recipe with no beans added. And this is a pretty simple recipe, pretty much straightforward, and you can modify it to your taste. This recipe comes to you from Joe Duff, and I have the link in the show more below. So without further ado, why don't we just go right into the video, and I'll do voiceover over parts of the video while you're watching this delicious recipe that came out absolutely really great. And so without further ado, let's go right into the recipe. And oh yeah, by the way, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It definitely helps the channel grow. And thank you for watching. And the first thing you'll need is a couple of peppers of your choice. And today we're using a green bell pepper and a yellow bell pepper and a medium-sized onion. We ended up chopping this all up into, diced it up actually, and then we used about a half of each, and the remainder of the onion and the pepper I just ended up freezing it for future use, for stir fry or something like that. But yeah, so the next step is we're just chopping up the onion and the pepper, and just continue to follow me along, and I'll talk over the bits and pieces of the video. In this particular case, it really helps if you have a sharp knife, and I had a brand new knife set we got this past year, and it sharpened my knives up before I started chopping away. Now just be careful with the knives that you don't hurt yourself, and you know, it's very important to be safety first. So what I did was I just cut the peppers in half, and then I sliced them vertical, and then I just kind of like diced them up, and I put them in a bowl, and I got them all ready to you know, to fry up. But I decided I wanted to use I was going to use the whole entire peppers and onions, but I decided on half, and so that way there now I got a little bit extra chopped up for the you know, for the chili that we made. And the nice thing about this is, you know, sometimes I get it, it's easy to buy the frozen onions and peppers and already diced up there, but you pay a lot of money for that when you can just do it yourself or freeze it up. And this is another way you can save money, because after all, you know, prices right now at the food shopping are absolutely crazy. So, you know, do what you got to do to, you know, survive and, you know, make it friendly to your taste for this particular chili. And I ended up having a couple of extra containers out of this, and I'm saving it for a future meal. And you know, got it frozen now, so you can always make extra for freezers. Now the next time I make this, I'll probably make it in the crock pot and let it just kind of like go overnight or a few hours. And as I'm doing these peppers and onion over here that you're watching me in the video, you know, you could put jalapeno pepper in here or anything you want for different spices. You can put hot sauce in here. You know, I put a mild chili powder in here that I use, but you know, again, you do it your way and make it your way. Again, I cannot eat too many spicy foods because I do have 10 alarm heartburn when that happens, and my wife's not crazy about spicy food, so I'm just kind of making this simple and very easy and not too spicy. And other option you can have too, you can always put a little bit of you know, confectionate sugar, like, you know, the brown or the regular kind that we use for low carb keto. And that's the two peppers that I had diced up. So now let's get the onion all chopped up, and now it's time to have a good cry. So yeah, again, just be careful with the knife, and especially when you're working with sharp instruments in the kitchen. The recipe called for thick cut bacon, but I used what I had on hand because prices of the food right now are ridiculous. So this particular bacon I got on sale at $4.99 a pound. So I ended up picking up 6 pounds of the bacon. So right now I'm just cutting the package open, and I took about a half a dozen, maybe 6 slices of bacon, and then I tried to overlay them and cut them, but I ended up cutting them all up to the little chunks that I could, and just set them aside into a bowl until I was ready to go ahead and start frying it up into the Dutch oven. The whole idea behind the bacon is when you're frying it up, and of course you got to leave the grease inside the pan that you're using, because all that juicy grease and everything gives it a really, really great flavor with the chili. And of course, everybody knows bacon is really good. People, the bacon lovers like I am, and I can eat bacon any time of day just for a snack the way it is once it's cooked, and if it's cooked the right way, which I kind of really like my bacon really well crisp, but not too over crisp. But yeah, so just continue along and let's continue. So now that we have the bacon all chopped up, let's get that going into the 6-quart Dutch oven that I'm using today. And I have that cooking on the induction cooking New Wave stovetop that I bought a while back ago, and I have it on medium-high heat. And I'm just going to cook bacon and work the bacon in. And once the bacon is cooked, we'll leave it into the Dutch oven along with the grease, and then we'll add the onions and peppers, and we'll soften those up a little bit. And then we'll add some simple seasonings, and then we're going to put the ground beef and chop it up with the wooden spoon, and keep frying it up until the ground beef is fully cooked. And if you just follow me along with this next process, you'll be fine. The ground beef that I'm using for this recipe is 2080 ground chuck. So just open it up and throw it right in. It's regular, it's not organic. Again, we're getting what we can afford right now because of the crazy food prices. And I'm just working the everything all in, make sure everything is incorporated before I put the ground beef in. And now I'm just showing you what the ground beef looked like in the package. And yeah, I didn't pay that much for it, but again, like, if you go back a number of years ago, we were only paying a couple of bucks per pound, and now everything is just crazy. So I'm just mixing this up at this point with the wooden spoon and getting everything all incorporated. And then I'm going to be using a can of diced tomatoes, a can of tomato sauce, and a can of tomato paste. Now, normally I would want to use all from the same company, but I was using up what I had in the pantry, and I had a package of mild McCormick chili powder. And again, I'm just using up what I have on hand, and it came out really great. Next time I make this, I want to make it in a crock pot and freeze up some containers so I can have them for future meals. And why not? This is all about a budget saver. And here you can see me adding some simple salt and pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and that sort of thing. And a little bit of Italian seasoning, and I added oregano, and you could even add a bay leaf into this if you wanted. And when I dumped in the can of diced tomatoes, I left the juice in there, but you can drain it if you want it to be a little more thicker on the sauce when you make the chili. And that's why I added the can of tomato paste. Now, in the tomato paste, I learned a little trick. It's so hard to get it out of the can, and you wind up wasting a lot. So I ended up taking the lid off of both sides of the can, and then I just pushed it right out, and it cleaned up the can really well. And once I was all done with all that, and I added everything all into the stock, I added the little bit of broth into about a cup of broth, and then I mixed everything up really well, and I closed the lid, and then I let it simmer on medium-high heat, probably for about 20 minutes until it was fully cooked. And then at the end of the video, you'll see how I added a scoop of sour cream, and then I added some chopped cheddar cheese over the top of that, and this came out really good. It wasn't too spicy for me to handle, but it was very, very filling. And so without the beans, but you could make it with beans too if you want to. Just try to get it as low carb as you can. And if you don't want to use onions because of the carbs, you can always use onion powder, and I've done that before. And again, as far as the peppers go, you can use any colored peppers you want. You red pepper on there's the yellow peppers, the orange peppers there, right? They all taste really fantastic. And of course, the jalapeno pepper and anything like that. You could put some hot sauce in there if you want to make it more spicy. But again, you do you, and this is typically what I did. I'm just trying to make it as low carb today as I possibly can. And just keep in mind too that tomatoes is also, even though it's okay for keto, within limitations, because you do have carbs in the tomatoes also as well. But all in all, this came out really fantastic, and I really enjoyed it. So over here now, I'm just getting ready to dump our tomato sauce and our paste right into the stock pot. And this is the diced can of tomatoes along with the water content. And this, I would say, the kind of the medium-sized can, one size down from the biggest can. And I forgot to check the ounces on the can, but and then you can see how it's just taking off the paste right out of the can. It just whooped right out of there. Much easier. Now I just take the wooden spoon, and I'm just mixing that all up there and making sure it doesn't stick to the bottom. And I love using that cooking device that I have now, the New Wave induction cooking. Works out really well for me. Now this is the packet of seasoning that I put the entire package in. Now I didn't have any chili powder. This is another purchase I got to make down the road. And now I'm adding a little bit of at a time. I'm adding the beef broth. I ended up adding about a cup of it, and because I had some on hand, and I just wanted to use it up, because I don't like to waste anything in the house if I can avoid it. And you can see how well this was all coming along. And now we just close the lid on it, and over here I added some simple seasonings, some garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, a little more, and some oregano leaves and that sort of thing. And again, at this point, if you wanted to make it a little sweet, you could add a little bit of granulated brown sugar, or the confectioner swerve that we use for keto to make it a little more sweeter if you want. But all in all, I mean, I've never made this particular recipe before, and I just followed along with a YouTuber, and I just kind of like changed it up to the way I wanted to make it. And again, it came out really good. The cooking time on this, after I put the lid on it, I let it cook for about 25-30 minutes on low and medium heat, about 275 on the cooking time that I had on, because on the induction cooking, it has a timer on there, and you can set it to whatever time or temperature you want. So, and it works out well for me. And I could have even finished it off in the regular oven because I was using a Dutch oven, but I was fine with the way this came out. Okay, my chili's all done. Just plate it into a bowl, and then I'm adding a nice scoop of sour cream, and then I'm adding a little bit of shredded cheddar on there, and that could be any kind of cheese you want on top, whatever your favorite cheese is. But again, I'm using what I had on hand, and this came out really, really good. And as you can see me putting the cheese over the top of my chili, came out really great. And again, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up, and thank you for watching. And be watching for some more videos as I get time to film them. I'll film them out.